getting drafted into the NBA is an accomplishment that many basketball players dream of. But the privilege of having your name selected in the lottery is a blessing and a curse. Cause if you are selected in the top 14 picks, you will have a bigger payday than everyone else in the draft, but you'll also have bigger expectations. NBA teams know that everybody drafted in the lottery will not become an all-star, but nobody thinks that the guy that they chose will become a bust. So what happens to all the players we forgot about? And the truth is that some of them end up playing in the G League, which is not supposed to happen when you were supposed to be the future of the franchise. So here are all the former lottery picks who as of 2023 are hooping in the NBA's very own Gatorade League, and the road they traveled to get there. And for the purpose of this list, we're only dealing with players who've exhausted their NBA rookie contracts, cause by that point, we know if you're a bust or not. Starting from the bottom of the lottery and working our way up from there, Denzel Valentine now plays for the Maine Celtics, but in 2016, he was the 14th pick of the draft by the Chicago Bulls. The Associated Press named him the College Basketball Player of the Year at Michigan State. But once he got to Chicago, he struggled, partially due to injury and partially due to his play on the court. He played 4 seasons for the Bulls, but he never started for even half of an NBA season, and he never averaged more than 10 points per game. After playing a few games here and there for 3 more NBA teams, he landed in the G League in 2023. Jerome Robinson was pick number 13 in the 2018 NBA draft by the Los Angeles Clippers. And he was the first lottery pick in history from Boston College, where he was first team All-ACC Conference. But he never started more than 6 games in an NBA season, and he averaged below 5 points per game in his career. So it ain't surprising he ended up outside the NBA after being traded to the Wizards by 2021. But in 2023, he's playing for the Santa Cruz Warriors of the G League. And Elfrid Payton is the first player on this list to be drafted in the top 10 as the 10th overall pick by the Philadelphia 76ers out of Louisiana Lafayette. In 2014, he was traded on draft night to the Orlando Magic, where he played for 3 full seasons before getting traded to the Phoenix Suns. And he bounced around the league from there, to the Pelicans, to the Knicks, and then back to the Suns. And now he is playing in the G League. His career averages of about 10 points per game and nearly 6 assists seem pretty solid when you look at him. But once you start getting tossed around in trades, especially to make the money work, you're a hop, skip, and a jump from ending up out of the league. But the NBA's loss is the G League's gain, because he's playing for the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. And Trey Burke was the National College Player of the Year at Michigan, before getting drafted by the Utah Jazz in 2013 as the 9th overall pick. And after 3 seasons with the Jazz, he was traded to the Wizards and became an NBA journeyman from there. He played for 4 teams in total, but he was on the Dallas Mavericks twice, and he's been in and out of the G League more than once. He actually averaged near 13 points per game 3 times in his career, but now he's playing for the Stockton Kings, waiting for another call-up to the NBA. And Emmanuel Mudiay is perhaps one of the most electrifying high school prospects ever. He chose to skip college entirely and played in China before entering the NBA draft. And he was pick number 7 in 2015 by the Denver Nuggets. But between the ages of 19 and 25, he played for 4 different NBA teams. He actually had his best season with the Knicks, where he averaged almost 15 points per game and started more than half the season. But the Knicks lost a lot of games with him in the lineup. He went overseas for a while, and now he's back in the G League, playing for the Iowa Wolves. But as young as he still is, he, perhaps more than most, has a chance to get one more shot in the NBA. And near the top of the draft is Willie Cauley Stein, who in 2015 was the 6th pick by the Sacramento Kings. He played college basketball for Kentucky before starting his career for 4 seasons with the Kings. Then he ended up on the Warriors, Mavs, and 76ers. In his final season with the Kings, he started every game that he played and actually averaged close to a double-double. It's possible he's a victim of the NBA's shift away from traditional big men, but in 2023, he played for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. And last but certainly not least is Jarrett Culver, who was the 6th pick in the draft as recently as 2019 out of Texas Tech. After dominating the Big 12, he started his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he never played much in his 4 seasons in the NBA. He was actually traded twice to the Grizzlies and Hawks, and his career scoring average is just 6 points per game. In 2023, he's playing for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, and he's actually averaging 18 points per game while he's doing it, reminding people why he was drafted so highly to begin with. So the NBA draft is always hit or miss, but nobody expects to miss that badly on a lottery pick, because those guys are supposed to make it in the association, but the G League will always be there for those who don't. Although we might have forgotten about these players, there are many more who have come to take their place. Cause when somebody heads down to the G League, normally it means that somebody else is moving up. They've already had a shot in the draft, but for all these players, let's just hope they get another crack at it to hear their name called once again.